Alrighty, y'all. So obviously, with the Evangelion collab currently happening, there's a lot of stuff that can be covered, and I will cover it all. No point in just covering a new character and then calling it a day until the next new character comes out. When I can keep you guys busy with content up until the next character comes out, which is actually going to be tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is when the next character comes out, and the next character is actually going to be Ray. Hence why we're showcasing Ray, and probably also today I'm going to showcase Mari because there's not a new Mari coming out, right? So I do think a lot of these old collab characters, the Asuka and the Mari especially, are characters that are going to, like, I know it's unfortunate because they are collab characters and I don't really agree with collab characters being meta, but I do think they are meta, right? Asuka is a staple for just fire bosses, bosses that she's type advantage against. So in that case would be wind bosses, right? She's just a staple for those bosses. And then obviously Anomaly, Anomaly, Interception, she's a staple for that team. And then Mari is like the closest thing anybody can get to a crown, right? I feel like as of right now in the game, I would say the collab Mari is the closest thing you can get to a crown, right? We're gonna talk about Ray and see how useful she is in today's meta. I gave her a collection item because why not? I have way too many SR ones, and it's just collecting dust, so I might as well just give it to everybody I showcase. But the R ones I keep for like actual like favorite item characters. The SR ones I just put them on. But anyways, let's talk about what this character does. So if you don't know, this Ray was actually meant for the old Asuka, the fire Asuka, and I'll probably showcase that into this showcase. But as you guys see here, after 100 normal attacks, effect self, damage of strong element is increased by 26% for 3 seconds. It's very helpful for obviously win bosses, right? And then after landing 100 normal attacks, affects the enemy within attack range, just deals 90% of final damage. Final attack is damage, right? Pretty good, right? And then obviously skill 2, at the start of the battle, effect self, damage to shield is increased by 573%, which is good. Right, it's not really as useful because not many enemies have shields, but sure. And then also activates when entering a burst stage 3, affects all fire code allies, gives an attack buff of a 20.55% of the caster's attack for 10 seconds. So yeah, she is giving an attack buff to all fire code allies every time you enter the burst stage 3, which is pretty good because that's not basically saying you need her burst skill. That's every burst rotation. She's giving an additional 20% attack buff to fire code allies, right? And that's the usefulness I found in this character in general with fire characters than compared to the new Ray, where the new Ray is buffing up only the new Asuka, or this Ray was specifically meant for the old Asuka, but was ending up buffing up all 5 characters in the process. I like that, right? Some like universal viability, something there, like something more than just buffing up one singular character, right? And then our burst skill, all fire code allies, again, they get a shield of the caster's final max HP. And they also get an attack damage buff of 37.9% for 10 seconds at level 5. And then she does do an AoE at 830%. So is Ray good? I mean, I would say Ray's a decent character. I think she's a good fire support character. It's just hard to fit her on teams because you're really gonna have only like 2 burst 3 characters on your team. At best, 3 burst 3 characters on one team, right? And it's really hard to fit a character like this in, knowing that it's just hard to fit them in, knowing that they're not going to be like, you know what I mean? They're not going to be on the team for real. But this case, we are going to put her on the team, and I'm going to put her with some fire supports, like some fire DPS and stuff like that. We're going to have Red Hood Rappy on the team. I mean, I might just do this, right? Rather than her buffing up Asuka, we can do this for the first time, and then I'll put an Asuka for the next one. So yeah, I don't know what I want though. I mean, we could do this. And then I could put Modernia as the last, like, you know, because she's already a burst 3, like, flex character. And then I could just put a random burst 1 litter and a random burst 2, probably crown, right? Or I could put Grave as well, but I don't want to put Grave, right? I'll just put crown. Just showcase a little support right here. So yeah, we're going to take a look and see what this is looking like. And then I will probably try her out with Asuka. I don't want to try her with Asuka in the Villa just because I know I'm not going to get far with no overload gear Asuka, no overload gear Ray on a team in the Villa. Like, you need overload gear for Anomaly interception. It's just how it is, right? But Her damage isn't actually bad. Like, I wouldn't say Ray's damage is bad, especially since she gives herself strong element damage. Like, right now, all fire characters, including, like, all the fire characters, including herself, get an attack buff, right? Red Hood is at 11 million. From her attack buff, we have, what is it? Where is it? This attack support. That is her effect right here, right? Attack support. And Modernia also, especially since she's not using her burst 3, her being able to get these buffs as well every burst rotation, because when we use her burst skill, she gives an attack damage buff, and when we're not using her burst skill, she's still giving an attack buff. Modernia being able to get that every burst rotation is very helpful as well. So that's like where I would say Ray is useful, right? That's where I say she's useful, just because she's like able to do that and provide that for the team. But as you guys see, Rappy went from 11 million to 116 million. But let's see where Ray's at too, right? There's too many machine guns. Everybody on this team is a machine gun, literally, right? There's 4 characters on this team that's a machine gun. Let's see where Ray's at actually though. Ray's at hold on. Ray's at 21 million all the way to what? Because that was big right there. I seen some crits there. 21 million to to 61 million. It's not the greatest. Like a 40 million jump, it's not as bad. And especially the thing is, when you put her with Asuka, right? Asuka gives like a damage to core hit buff, right? That's the thing. She gives a damage to core hit buff. That's like what was there to help out, obviously, Ray here, because Ray is a machine gun. She's, as you guys see, anytime Ray attacks, she's had core hits, right? Because she's a machine gun. They're just gonna always proc, right? But here it should be Ray, right? Ray's at 83 million. 83 million to what? That was a lot of AoE. Like, there's a lot of enemies there, so surely it's a bit higher. And her overall damage is like, I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's not that bad, right? To 129 million. 83 million to 129 million. You guys can see she's kind of gaining 40 million per burst, per her burst skill. Off her burst, she's gaining what? Let's take a look at her numbers here where we're not using her burst skill, right? 183 million to what? Like, this is not her burst skill, but she is giving herself some buffs and stuff like that. And she's getting buffs from other characters as well. But 138 million to what? 254 million. So when you use her burst skill, she's going up by 40 million. When you're not using her burst skill, she's going up by 20 million. That's just with this team, obviously, and the buff she gets from this team. But yeah, I do think if you run her with Asuka, which is what you're meant to do, you probably might see a bit higher from her, right? Yeah, because look, she's casually hitting what's it called? And it's not like we have our attack damage buff from Crown the entire time, like, because we don't have thing on this team, right? When we get fully stacked up, what are we at right now for our stacks on her? I think she's at 10. Crown is at 10. When Crown gets healed for 7 seconds, she'll, like, it's just not as consistent as if you were to have an actual healer on the team. I think what I'll do next time is I'm gonna take both the Rappy and Modernia off. I'll put Naga on the team, and then I'll put Asuka and Crown in the first 2 slots. That way they're getting healed, right? That way they're getting healed, and then they're also giving a buff, right? I'm just gonna let the last 40 seconds run through. I'm just gonna let it run through, and then I'm gonna show you guys how good she is with Asuka here, and then I can, I mean, should I go to Invangelion? I don't want to waste you guys' time too much, right? Showing you guys a whole nother 3 minutes of the damage in shooting range. I mean, I could pause it and then just show you guys the outcome, but yeah, I'm just gonna go into Invangelion, I guess, with this team. Not this team, but with Asuka and Ray. I'm not gonna get far. I'm telling you guys right now, on Invangelion, I can promise you I'm not gonna get far with my 2 DPSs on Invangelion are gonna be characters who have no overload gear. Where you think I'm gonna get with that? I can have the craziest supports that will get me farther, but I doubt I'm actually gonna get that far with this composition, right? The only thing is I could bring Rappy though. I could bring Rappy as the burst one, which will help us a bit. So yeah, but you guys can see 250, it's 65 million, not the greatest, but again, she doesn't have overload gear or anything, so I'm not expecting her to be all that powerful. But let's go into Invangelion and try something out. See if we can get her to get to at least stage 3, right? Because the average I can get to on all these bosses is the highest I can get to is 6 right now, right? Average with like some of these other lesser teams would be 4. So with a team like this, I'm expecting to get to 3, if that makes sense, right? It's kind of, surely that makes sense, right? Let's go ahead and take this team off. We can put you here as the burst 1. And then, like I said, we're gonna bring Crown, and we are also gonna bring Asuka, the OG one, wherever she is. Oh, she's really low here, actually. And then we can bring Ray, and then Modernia. No. Yeah, no, then Naga, because we want our heals, right? I do want to see something, because do you have gear? No, you don't. Alrighty, so I ended up just giving her some gear. I don't have gear for her because I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did get Asuka Willy with my golden tickets. Or not, I think people say her name is Vala. I got the other Asuka with the eye patch, and I gave her overload gear. I got her with my golden tickets because my whole logic was, I know I wanted to get like pull her with my actual tickets and then just use my golden tickets on Ray, but if I'm not able to do that, it's better that I have this character and I'm actually miss out on Ray. I'm gonna try to get Ray still, but it's better that I have this character over the new Ray because the new Ray is useless unless you have this other character. So if I can only have one of the two, I might as well get her anyways. But yeah, with this team, we should be somewhere. We should be good somehow, some way, some short, like some way, right? A lot of core damage buffs are being procced here with both Naga and Asuka for the fire characters. We do have some heals again from Miss Naga over there. I don't know if we can hit this Till though. This moves around. This Till moves a lot, so we're gonna see. Right there goes Asuka. Yeah, and Asuka gets a buff here as well, right? I mean, we gotta break that Till though. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Let's go ahead and break that Till, and boom, we broke the Till. Right, but the core hits, we're gonna have a lot of core hits here, because obviously we're a machine gun. But let's see her damage, because she's gonna actually be using her damage here. Let's see. And we have a lot of buffs. We're at 13 million. 13 million to what though? Because now you see how those normal attacks are way higher. 13 million to what though? 13 million to 49 million. I mean, this is like a lot tankier than what you guys see in shooting range. So honestly, I would say it's okay. It's not the best. I mean, it's not the greatest, but I'm not gonna expect them to be all that powerful, especially if they don't have overload gear, right? The only people on my team that have overload gear are everybody but the Evangelion characters. Like what? I'm not gonna expect them to have overload gear or be as powerful without overload gear, especially in Anomaly. But I mean, we actually got to stage 3 quite easily, so we probably will get to stage 4. Heck, we might get stage 5 with this comp, right? But then again, like, look at Asuka's damage, right? I mean, obviously, Rafi, the burst 1 Rafi is doing more than Asuka, which says a lot. But then again, that's like the best character in the game, and she has overload gear, and she's broken. Like, she's broken. I'm not gonna count that. It's a different word. It's just, yeah, no. But is Ray useful to an extent? Like for fire characters, yeah. If I was to put Ray on a team like this, she is not completely useless because again, all the fire characters on the team are getting a buff from Ray, right? That's like just what people need to realize, right? All the fire characters on this team right now, being Rappy, and then also Asuka, are actually getting a buff from this team, from her alone. So it's not like, oh, completely useless, but even her damage isn't like all the greatest, but it's not that bad too, right? I guess so, like when you're pairing her up with Asuka, it's a lot better. But we actually got stage 4 with this team, which I'm actually surprised about. I don't know if we can get to stage 5, but if we actually end up getting to stage 5 with this team, I'm actually gonna be a bit happy because I didn't even think this team would get to stage 3. Right, so the fact that we're already at stage 4 and we're probably gonna get to stage 5, we'll see. There's 2 phases to this boss if you did not already know that though. There is 2 stages to this boss, right? But just yeah, like if Rappy and Asuka are doing the most damage and Ray is buffing them up, that's helpful in my opinion, right? And Ray is, it's not like Ray's not doing any damage, she's just buffing them, but Ray's doing damage herself, right? So yeah, now we're on the second phase of Invalidia, which is I mean, it's not as hard as I thought it would be actually. The second stage, this stage of, it's not really that hard, if you want me to be honest with you. Like, all you have to do is basically boom, 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 boom. Okay. and we failed because we're using a machine gun character for that. It's fine. We're gonna die here. It's fine. It's fine. Or we get stage 4, I'll give us a benefit. No, that's not my fault. We had no bullets. We were reloading. And had we had the bullets, we would have made it far. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. So is Ray completely useless? Like, no, I wouldn't say it. Would I say you need Ray generally? No. No, you don't need her. You don't need this character at all. Like, you can go the entire time. A lot of the collab characters you don't use. Like, I'm not even trying to lie to you guys or anything like that. I'm gonna show you guys. I have every collab character in this game. I'm gonna tell you all the collab characters till this day that are still being used. Right? Pascal in PvP, Mari, Amelia, Power in PvP, Asuka, Rem, A2, and this new that's a decent amount though, but and then obviously this new Asuka, right? Those are the only people like collab character, and A2 is a stretch. I only use A2 personally for story, and I know a lot of people do as well for those sub story stages where it's like the tower defending or the base defending, whatever it is. A2 just deletes those stages, so I know people use that or her for that. But other than that, like a lot of these other characters, you're using them in one specific place. This character is probably only going to be used in Kraken, only sub stories, only Anomaly, interception, PvP, Powered's PvP, Amelia's PvP, Makima PvP to an extent. Mari is like a general use character. People do use Mari a lot. Mari's probably the most used collab character here, her and Asuka, right? Just because they're not making interceptions every day, and then a lot of people use Mari for solo raid and stuff like that, and just other content as well, because she is you guys will see in the next showcase. But anyways, let's talk about this character. Is she good? I would say she's good. Is she a must-have? I wouldn't say Ray's a must-have at all. I would not say Ray is a must-have at all, but I would say she is a very good character. A character that if you do pull and you do ever decide to use her with fire characters, she is actually benefiting your team to an extent. But you guys let me know what you think. It's your boy Zxous. I'm out. Peace.